Hey guys, so I want to tell you right off the bat why June is going to be such an epic month. So essentially, you should expect magic this month, especially in the areas of energy, authentic expression, and romantic love. So many planets and signs are moving into their ideal placements. So you should expect your energy, drive, ambition, communication, and romantic life to accelerate drastically. Now, if you've been feeling stuck in a rut like I was the past week, this rut is about to be over because Mars, which is the planet of energy, drive, and ambition and creativity, is shifting into a very powerful sign, which we'll touch on in a second. Mercury, which is the planet of communication, is also moving into its home exalted placement. And Venus, the planet of love and romance, will accelerate this month into the sign of Aries and then stabilize into its most exalted home position at the end of the month. So as you'll find out shortly in this video, this is destined to be a very powerful, very energizing, very fruitful, and very exciting month. The long months of winter are over, the summer is here, and the stars, the planets, and the sun all want us to shine in our radiant authenticity. Now, before you go any further, it could be helpful to look up your Vedic birth chart using the first link in the description so that you can match the planets that I'm going to talk about in this video to your unique placements within those planets in your whole Vedic chart. So check out the link in the description. The first placement I want to tell you about is the Sun in Taurus is moving into Gemini on June 15th. And remember, this is Vedic astrology. This is not Western or tropical astrology. This is Vedic, sidereal, Indian, Eastern astrology. The sun is finishing its stay in Taurus, where it's been since middle of May, and it's actually considered to be in an enemy sign in Vedic terms. Now, this placement of the sun being in Taurus brings lessons in discipline, patience, groundedness, and presence, but it often feels like you're stuck in quicksand, or you're trudging through the mud, or you're trying to push a rock up a hill. You may have felt foggy, slow, or like your inner drive, passion, and fire was flickering or not able to turn on at all. So Mars, being in Cancer, which we'll go into in a second again, may have also contributed to this feeling of feeling stuck or low energy. But on June 15th, a literal shift is happening in the sky when the sun shifts into Gemini, where curiosity, connection, communication, and adaptability take center stage. So here's what to expect with the sun in Gemini. 1, a lift in mental clarity and fluidity. 2, conversations and communication to flow more easily. And 3, a desire to explore, create, express yourself, and collaborate to come to the forefront. So this is a breath of fresh air for you in your own personal identity and your self-expression. It's a beautiful window, June to July, to create, to travel, to explore, to learn new things, to share your ideas, and to expand your perspective. So let yourself experiment, share your voice, step into a new role. The sun in Gemini is going to help you feel like you can move again, not just physically, but especially mentally and socially and spiritually. Next, Mars is moving into Leo on June 7th. Now I'm very excited about this shift. So for the past few months, Mars has been something called debilitated in Cancer. And so what that means is when a planet is debilitated, it means it's in a sign where its energy is weakened, misdirected, or out of alignment with its natural essence. It's essentially a non-optimal placement. So Mars, the planet of Mars, is the archetype of the warrior. Think of the god of Ares, right? The Greek god of war. It's fiery, it's focused, it's assertive, and Mars rules creativity, passion, energy, and drive. The sign it's in now, today, shifting June 7th, is Cancer. Cancer is like the divine mother. Cancer is the nurturer. It's emotionally sensitive, it's intimate, it's protective. And so this mismatch between the warrior and the nurturer creates a mismatch, and it creates a lot of tension and friction here. But on June 7th, which is I'm really excited about, it's only like a week away, when Mars enters Leo, which is a very royal, fiery, bold, courageous, and confident sign, the spirit and the energy of Mars can, quote unquote, roar again. So very excited about that. Now Leo, the sign it's moving into, is the sign of the king, the performer, the creative leader, the sun itself, and the lion archetype. So Leo is very bold, expressive, center stage, and it thrives on being the center of attention and the leader of a movement or a mission in its highest expression. Mars loves this energy of Leo. Leo gives Mars a quote unquote throne to fight for and not just something to fight against. So imagine the sign of Leo as a wise king, think like Marcus Aurelius, entering Mars, the planet of the Greek god of Ares or the god of war. So this combination is very powerful for your creative energy and drive and ambition. So you should expect to feel bolder, louder, and more commanding, more creative, more expressive. Energy should return, focus should sharpen, vitality will increase. This is the season you may step into a new leadership role within your own life or within a company or within a business. This is a transit of pure creative fire. So another thing to know about Mars also rules over vitality and physical strength, courage, competition, and ambition, and healthy boundaries and instinctual, intuitive truth. So when Mars is in Leo, that energy in its highest expression becomes heart-led and heart-centered. So this placement is your green light, and you can work with the energy of the universe to reclaim your power, step into your creative projects, put yourself out there, be bold, ambitious, fiery, and step into your highest expression of self-sovereignty. So you should feel fucking pumped about this placement. I'm pretty excited about this. Now, next is Venus in Aries. Venus is the planet of love, beauty, connection, and pleasure. It rules over how we relate to the world, not just romantically, but artistically, socially, aesthetically, and even financially. So Venus is the planet of your inner artist, your inner lover, your inner poet, your magnetic, divine, radiant self. So on May 31st, past month, Venus just entered Aries, which is a fire sign. It's a bold, fiery sign of desire, forward-moving, courage, action, and instinct. So this placement, Venus in Aries, is a very fiery placement. Venus in Aries doesn't wait. It wants, and it wants now. It's passionate, flirtatious, spontaneous, and magnetic, but not always patient, so be mindful of this throughout the next month. So in your romantic life, you might feel sparks. You might feel the urge to pursue someone or some type of new creative aesthetic project that you've been dancing around. You may also feel a bold return to beauty, style, aesthetics, and love. Venus in Aries is not the soft kind of love. We're going to get there in a second. Venus in Aries is electric, and we're going to stay here for most of June. But then on June 29th, Venus returns to its home sign of Taurus, one of the two signs that it rules. So Venus in Taurus is not chasing. She is rooted. Taurus energy is earthy, grounded, sensual, slow-moving, stable. And so when Venus lands here on June 29th, she is exalted in her most optimal placement. So at the end of the month, love will become more slow-moving, more intimate, more stable, and long-lasting. And so how I think about it is the next 30 days or so with Venus in Aries is the time to pursue romantic interests boldly, to pursue creative projects boldly, and from that bold action, it will then stabilize and ground into the sign of Taurus at the end of the month. Something else I want to tell you about here is in this placement, something called an Adi Yoga is formed. Now, this is a very rare, lucky, and auspicious combination where other beneficiary planets like Venus, Jupiter, and Mercury occupy strong houses and dignified signs. Now, that's kind of into the nuances, but what you have to know here, coming back to Venus in Aries and then Venus going into Taurus, because this is what this is about, this will create a wave, a surge of incredible harmony, prosperity, grace, and ease. Relationships will flourish. Money will flow. You're reminded that beauty, softness, and stability can coexist and is actually beautiful. And so think ahead to the end of the month. What are you going to be doing June 29th and beyond? What does your life look like end of June, early July, and into August? How could you capitalize on this energy of Venus moving into its grounded sign of Taurus? So for the majority of this month, remember, work with the energy of Venus in Aries by letting yourself pursue what you love, what you crave, and what you desire in all areas of life. And at the end of this month, this fiery, assertive, and ambitious energy will then ground into something stable, sensual, and long-lasting. So the motto I'm telling myself is expect love, pursue love, and expect miracles to unfold. Next, we have Mercury. Mercury is entering its home sign of Gemini on June 5th. Again, this is another optimal placement, so this is why June is so exciting. Mercury is the planet of the mind, communication, intellect, learning, memory, business, speech. It rules how we think, talk, write, and connect ideas to action. And so on June 5th, Mercury is entering Gemini, which is its own sign, where it is very powerful, playful, and sharp. And this is going to be really good for business. It's going to be really good for romantic connections. This is home turf for Mercury. Everything from a communication lens is going to flow faster here. So you should expect to feel, starting on June 5th, a surge in mental clarity, communication and articulation, sociability, curiosity, and mental agility and fluidity, and fresh ideas, new writing, witty one-liners that you can go post on Twitter or whatever you do with those, like me. You may find yourself craving conversations, learning, networking, or writing, and this is all natural. Just let it flow. Tap into the energy, deepen into it. You have Mercury in Gemini, you have Mars in Leo, you have Venus in Aries. It's going to be a time where you're feeling a lot of fiery masculine energy. Deepen into that. It's supposed to be happening at this time. So I'm going to know about the sign of Gemini. Is the symbol for it is the twins. So what that means is Gemini is dual, mutable, and it's an air element, so it can transition quickly. So this is a time with Mercury, the mind, in Gemini, dualistic, to explore alternative perspectives, new philosophies, bounce between options. Look at Vedic astrology. Look at Western astrology. I'm not preaching that Vedic is superior to Western. I have just found it to be more indicator of the truth than Western. But go look into Western. There's a lot of truth in there as well. And bounce between different philosophies, explore all your options, and follow your mental sparks and your curiosity without needing immediate resolution or clarity. The invitation you are being given here with Mercury in Gemini is to share your truth, to launch your message, to teach what you know, and to sell, speak, and storytell from your soul. This is a golden window for anybody who's an entrepreneur, creator, writer, podcaster, thought leader, and anyone who uses communication in their artistic pursuits or career. I can already feel this energy taking over, and it's probably a big reason why I launched my new astrology newsletter called Celestia, which I'm going to touch on more later in the video, but you can check it out in the description below. Last thing I'm going to mention for the month of June. The full moon this month lands in the sign of Scorpio. Full moon Scorpio. So this is one of the most deepest, transformative, powerful signs in the entire zodiac. In Vedic astrology, Scorpio is ruled by Mars, and it's connected to intensity, depth, power, and emotional alchemy. The full moon brings illumination, culmination, and release. So when the full moon is in Scorpio, it doesn't just illuminate things in your life, it actually is asking you to excavate or dig out or remove what is no longer serving you. So this full moon is asking, can you stay true to your path and your mission, even in the darkest parts of yourself? So this full moon may bring some things up. And to be aware, it's June 11th, so maybe you carve out time and space that day to go within, to introspect, to do some inner work, to do some somatic practices, to do some emotional alchemy, some journaling, some meditation, whatever that is for you. And it's nothing to be fearful of, but it's something to be aware of. So expect to feel emotions arise from your subconscious or your past. Expect triggers to potentially arise in your external environment. Expect old wounds, grief, or jealousy to possibly resurface. And expect to feel almost invited to reclaim your inherent power by facing the parts of you that you've avoided, aka your shadow, which is Scorpio's nature, to look into the depths. So don't run from this. This is sacred work. It's really powerful if you're able to tap into and harness this energy. Scorpio wants you to transmute energy, not avoid energy. The moon helps you face fully illuminated what you've buried. And this combination supports healing trauma, strengthening boundaries, developing your inner resilience, and getting clear on your mission. So let the emotional purge happen if it comes up. Journal, meditate, do somatic release or somatic dancing. Allow any and every energy and emotion to flow. And then from the dark night, or the illuminated night, because the full moon, allow yourself to then rise into what is the highest expression symbolically of Scorpio, which is the symbol of the phoenix, which is reborn, revitalized to pursue your mission with no fear, no emotional baggage. The subconscious stuff has been released, and now you can go forward with full devotion to your truth. So in essence, in summary, this month is about reclaiming your energy, stepping into your power, using your voice, sharing your creations, speaking your truth, and pursuing who and what you love with full passion and intensity. All the signs are aligning to this. Mercury being in Gemini, Mars being in Leo, Sun being in Gemini, Venus being in Aries. They're all about bold action, rapid decision making, sharing your truth, becoming your authentic self, and putting that out there and stepping into that energy. So the winter is over, my friend. I felt like a pretty hard 3 to 4 months, and I feel the energy really shifting right now. And understanding this map and how things move has really helped me as well. And so I'm aligning my own creative projects and building certain sprints with the energies of these planetary shifts that I just told you about. So June and July are going to be fucking awesome months. Expect a lot of projects, a lot of creations to begin to come up. So it's time to transcend, my friends. Thank you for listening to this video. If you enjoyed it, share it with a friend you think might find it interesting. And another update on Celestia, the Vedic astrology newsletter I mentioned earlier in the video, is I have a paid Substack for premium members of Celestia. So there's the free tier, which is going to be monthly updates like this video, and also some other insights or knowledge about Vedic astrology. But the paid tier, which is $8 a month, will give you daily updates on the subtle energy shifts in the moon, in the sun, just reminders throughout the month so that you can learn to work with the energy of the universe, understanding your own chart, and co-creating your life from a place of understanding the broader shifts and changes happening in the cosmos. And so if you want to join that paid tier, I have a special 50% off launch discount for a lifetime subscription. That's only going to last until June 11th. And so the reason for this is a launch promotion. This is a new newsletter. And if you do join, I'm also going to send you a personal video astrology reading based on your own chart. Once you join, message me on the Substack chat. Send me your birthday, send me your birth information, time of birth, location of birth, and I'm going to send you a personalized video. So that's it with Celestia. Would love to see you in that newsletter. I'm having a lot of fun writing it, and it was the seed of this video. So anyways, if you enjoyed, do all those things, like it, subscribe, comment if you find anything particularly interesting, and share it with a friend. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.